according to reports, Arteta wants more than one player. So Gary Jacobs also goes on to say, Mikel still wants Arsenal to sign a direct left winger and potentially a creative midfielder. So those are two players. That is not one player. That is Eze and someone else. So that is what Gary Jacobs says. Arteta still wants a direct left winger and potential creative midfield. That will take it to 8 signings from 6. I thought you're only going to get one player. I still think you're going to get one player, and unless something dramatically changes and we end up selling 3-4 players and we end up signing 2 players. I mean, preferably you'd want these players in before the first game of the season, but could we actually end up getting, more than one player after the season has already started, bet them in between, now in the first international break or whatever, to try and get them, initiated to the team, basically. Could be a possibility, but I guess it depends on how much money we have. But the fact that we've only heard about Eze only the last 2 weeks, I don't know. I mean, now you're hearing about a potential loan deal for Rodrigo. Maybe that is a possibility. We are hearing that if Trossard and Fabio Vieira both leave, we could actually go for someone. Because I'm also thinking, because there's no way you're going to let Trossard go and not buy a replacement. That would be crazy. You cannot let go of Trossard and not get a replacement. So if Eze is not that replacement, that means you're going for another left winger. Now, the left winger does not have to be an 80 million pound player. There's other wingers who are going to cost you 10 million, 50 million. So could that be the case if it's not a Rodrigo loan deal? Or could it be, we are hearing about Lookman today. So the Sun, admittedly not the best of sources, but the Sun, Jordan Davis has had a couple of good things this transfer window. Sunspot understands Arsenal are keeping tabs on Ademola Lookman's situation. Should they miss out on other targets, including Eberici Eze? So Jordan Davis, he's saying if we don't get Eze, that's how we are going to get Lookman. But Gary Jacobs says Arteta wants both of those positions, a creative midfielder and a left winger. A move for Lookman would also come into play should Leandro Trossard leave this summer. So if we don't get Eze, we might go for Lookman. But also if Trossard leaves, we might still go for Lookman, even if you're still going for Eze. So that kind of is the same thing that Gary Jacobs says at that latter part. Atalanta want at least 45 million pounds. Now, when it comes to money compared to all the other players that have been leaving their teams, I've been seeing some crazy fees, man. Luis Diaz has gone to Saudi Arabia, not to Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz has gone to Bayern Munich for a lot of money. Nunes from Liverpool has gone to Saudi Arabia for a lot of money. Actually, let's just even talk about the wingers only. Players like Luis Diaz, players like Madueke, all these players, Elanga, they've all gone for crazy money. So if you're able to get Lookman for 45 million, he already has Premier League experience. Now, he didn't have the best of times at Fulham, but I remember him breaking through when he was a kid at Everton. He's been in the Premier League before with a couple of teams, so he does have that Premier League experience. He wants to leave Atalanta. Inter Milan are still not yet able to get him. Inter Milan wanted him. He actually handed in a transfer request the other day. He said, I want to leave. He thanked the fans. He said, I want a new challenge. I think he's 27 years of age at the moment, and it's only Inter Milan at the moment that are trying to sign him. I've not heard about any other team that are trying to sign Ademola Lookman. So for 45 million, is he worth it? I think he is worth that kind of money. Now, if you look at his numbers last season, he played 40 games, he scored 20 goals and 7 assists. So 27 goal contributions in 40 games. And in those 40 games, he played 2,871 minutes. Now, he also played 29 games as a second striker. So behind the striker, he played 29 games. And then he also played as a center forward 7 times. He actually only played on the left wing a couple of times. He was mainly like a second striker. Atalanta have a lot of attacking players. But if you look at the previous season again, you'll find a season where he played, more games as a left winger, some games as a right winger. So the 23-24 season, he played 45 games, 2,800 minutes. And this time he had 17 goals and 10 assists. So 7 goal contributions. His numbers have been very good the last 3 seasons, and he's very flexible and very versatile in terms of positions on the pitch. 21 times as a second striker, 15 times as a center forward, 6 times as a left winger. He has played as a right winger as well. So for 45 million, for right now should be his prime, is 27 years of age. He's turning 28 later this year. I mean, for a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, 45 million, I would be taking Lookman for sure. I mean, Rodrigo is 80, 90 million. Lookman is 45 million. All the other wingers that have been sold, I mean, we've bought Madueke for 52 million. Newcastle have bought Elanga for 50 million. All these players are being sold for a lot of money, all the wingers. So if you can get Lookman for that cheap, I'll try and do it. Now, let's see how it develops. We were told before that Andrea Bata talked to all of these wingers at the beginning of the transfer window to try and find out which one is the easier deal to do. At that point, he talked to Nico Williams, to Gordon, to Rodrigo, to Lookman. We were told as well he talked to, who am I forgetting? There's one other player and this guy as well, Rafa Leao. Now, according to Ben Jacobs, he says while Rafa Leao is in love with AC Milan, with the club having no European football, they are willing to sell to fund their transfer window. So are we talking about the same price as Ademola Lookman? AC Milan would be happy to let him go because they don't have any European football at all, which is crazy, AC Milan not having any European football. I know a lot of you want Rafa Leao as well. I mean, I would take any of these guys very quickly. The way they played, the way we saw Dauman playing yesterday, the way you can just take on players. I wish we had that on the left side. And I think Lookman and Leao would definitely do that. In terms of going past players every single time, both of these players would do that for you. So I'd be very happy if we can get any of these guys. If Ben Jacobs is correct, no, Ben Jacobs, they have the same name. If Gary Jacobs is right in terms of Arteta wanting both a left wing and an attacking midfielder, and then the Sun also reporting that, we are interested in Lookman and, Ben Jacobs saying, I mean, he hasn't directly said Arsenal want him, but you were told before that Arsenal spoke to all of these wingers. If he becomes available, is he a possibility? Let's see. I'm surprised that no one has really gone in for him. I thought like players like Leao, if they're made available, a lot of teams would go in for him. But literally, I've not had any team wanting Leao and, not too many teams wanting Lookman. I don't know why. It could be things with wages. Maybe they want a lot of money per week and all that, and teams are not ready to pay that. So that is surprising. But we want both positions. We've talked about Eze, we've talked about Lookman, we've talked about Leao as well. Can we get? Imagine if we get two of those players. Our left side is struggling. We watched again yesterday, playing against Villarreal yesterday. Whenever the ball goes to the right side, something is happening right away. Max Dauman, even if he's 10 minutes on the pitch, we get a penalty from that side right away. Nwaneri on that right side, something is happening. Saka is getting past his player. Like a lot of things, all those players are playing on the right side. But on the left side, now even with the injuries on top of that, it is only Martinelli. And once again, I mean, I think he was better than the Tottenham game, but still he was not, on the level that we want him to be. Now, if he's not on that level, it's a problem because our left side has kind of struggled since Xhaka has left, and we've not really replaced that side a lot. Declan Rice has been good. I personally don't mind Rice playing as a 6 or an 8, as a 10, whatever. Rice is good wherever a place is playing on the pitch. He's just been nominated for the Ballon d'Or as well. Today, Declan Rice, that is how good he is. I don't mind wherever he's playing on the pitch. But in terms of, because Rice is not like an out-and-out attacker, and if your left wing is also not performing and not scoring goals and not assisting, then that is a problem because, we don't have the Zinchenko getting into midfield and all that. Lewis Kelly is doing his job defensively, so we are really lacking in terms of attacking play. So Lewis Kelly overlapping a couple of times last time, but if he's also getting into midfield and Martinelli is playing as a touchline wing and there's no one else to support him on that side and he's already struggling, that we need something else there. Maybe if you sign a player like Eze, maybe Eze unlocks Martinelli on that side. Maybe the way Odegaard, plays with Ben White and Saka on the right side over the last 2 seasons, especially 2 seasons ago, they were very good together. Maybe Martinelli needs someone like that. Maybe Odegaard needs to play on the left side, even if you sign Eze, because I've seen Odegaard delivering from the left side. Remember when he played Luton and we scored in the last minute, Declan Rice header? Odegaard was on the left side with that cross. I remember Champions League against FC Porto when Trossard scored his goal at home. It was Odegaard assisting him on the left side as well. And there's been a few times where Odegaard has, even in the Champions League, the first time in the Champions League 2 years ago, or first time in a lot of years, not the first time, Odegaard was scoring goals against PSV from the left side, from the middle patch, not really on the right side. So maybe it's time to, if you're not changing the entire tactic board and whatever, maybe switch a few things here and there. Maybe, move Odegaard to the left side to help him out with the through passes to Martinelli and all that. Now, again, I watched Martinelli a lot yesterday. I went and rewatched that game, one player at a time, and checked the highlights as well. of individual players. And there's a couple of times where Martinelli was trying to make a like a run in behind the defense, but there was no one who was passing him the ball. So maybe that is his strength. He wants to run in behind like he did against Real Madrid, like he did against Sevilla. He wants to run in behind one-on-one against the goalkeeper, but he never really gets those opportunities because maybe you don't get that much space. But even if you get that space, no one is really picking up that pass for him on the left side. That could be a case as well. So he's going to be here next season. Martinelli is not going to be sold. So we have to find a solution. He's not going to be on the bench until May. He's going to play some games. He's going to start Premier League games. He's going to start against the Liverpool and Man City. So how can we, make sure that he's playing better than what he is right now? He's not a touchline wing. He's not a winger supposed to be close to the touchline trying to dribble past players. That is not his game. So we need to find a way to get him through one-on-one, get him those passes from Odegaard and Zubimendi, maybe move Odegaard to the left side if we sign another player. Maybe even if we don't sign another player, if Nwaneri is playing on the right side, maybe you can move Odegaard in the left side for that particular game. Just something to try and unlock him. And if you try all of that and Martinelli is still getting chances and missing and all that, then there's nothing much more that you can do from that. But as of now, you just have to try something different. But let's see how it goes.